Hi,
Oh,
everybody. Welcome back to the Victoria Baran Show. We're so happy you're with us again this week. Please put your comments and questions down below if you like, and we'll answer your questions live on the air, or we'll get back to you during the week and respond to your questions if you have anything to add down below. As most of you know, Victoria Baran is a senior vice chairman with Longevity, just a fabulous business leader. She has been for a long time, very successful. She's an internationally certified training director and just a huge heart for her team and very, very successful. She's got an awesome training for us today. And we're so happy that she's here with us again and that you and all of us get to hear what she's going to share with us today. So there you go. Victoria, take it away, girl.
hey, thank you so much. So welcome everybody, whether you're on the phone, whether you're on the Google Hangout. We appreciate you checking in today and spending your time. I want to talk about a lot of quick subjects here today. But the first one I want to go into, hold on one second, is very quickly I want to go into transform your temple. Becky, do you see that?
Yes, it's up. Great. Perfect.
Okay. So I got to tell you, the Transform Your Temple started this week. Most of us just got it last few days. And it is so awesome. Already, I talked to Chris and Heather yesterday, and they had been on it one day and just taken those two little bottles. Chris said he had slept better than he had in years. So you do it on an empty stomach. And every single month, I'm looking at, if you're on the Google Hangout, you can see it. There is or you can just go to Transform Your Temple if you're on the phone and you want to pull up your computer, and you click on the little thing that says the pamphlet, and it tells you every single month, like this month is lung and sinus, next month is brain health, in July will be bone and joint. It is $100 a month, but I believe that this is a way to move our bodies forward. You know, we are so lucky to have longevity and to have the 90 for life and to have Z Radical. I mean, those products to me, whether it's Z Radical, our amazing seaweed that tastes great, whether it's our healthy, our 90 for life starter pack, which is the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the OsteoFX, and the fish oils, those are fantastic. That is our mainstay. I believe this organic program, and guys, I'm looking at the back of these bottles, organic herbal blends, fermented and sprouted. Of course, you don't taste any of that when you take it, but it's all whole food. And I believe this is going to be a system that takes us to the next level with our bodies. So I'm very, very excited about that. And now, Becky, can you see what I just pulled up here?
Yes, in with the good, out with the bad. Yeah, looks great.
Okay, so I would like to show you, I just want to mention that briefly. And most of what we're going to talk about today is how you use the tools that we have for brand new people, okay? Have them literally use, they don't have to invent anything. They don't even really have to do a video or YouTube or anything like that to tell people how to start. It's a pretty quick, easy system. But there's a gal in longevity who started not too long ago, and she created a 10-minute video. And I got to tell you, it is worth, in my opinion, is worth me playing this video. And it starts out with in with the good and out with the bad. This is a video that I think it's generic enough that I believe anybody or any team could actually use this. Of course, you always want, anytime you send something, you want to make sure you follow up, or they could Google that person's name, etc. And but she did a heck of a job, and she obviously did this in mind for anybody in this company to use. So I am, by the way, if you want the link on it, just email me and I'll after this, and I'll be glad to send you the links personally. So anything that isn't talked about here, I'll say it for those that are just on the phone.
Your body works on a basic level.
So
right?
here we
it's
go.
Essentially a chemical reactor. In goes food for fuel, out.
You start that all over. Okay, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live.
Hi, I'm Jenny Smith, and if you're anything like me, you're short on time, but you're smart enough to know we get one body in this lifetime, so we better not screw it up. You already know how your body works on a basic level, right? It's essentially a chemical reactor. In goes food for fuel, out comes waste. Sounds simple enough, but we weren't exactly handed an owner's manual at birth, and it turns out your body needs 90 essential nutrients to thrive. In fact, most diseases we're told are genetic or that only drugs can cure are actually preventable and even reversible if you're getting these 90 essential nutrients. 100 years ago, you got them from food, but today you can't. It's impossible. The soil doesn't have those nutrients, and if it's not in the soil, it's not in your fruits and vegetables or the plants our livestock eats. Even if you already eat right, then unless you're supplementing your healthy diet with those nutrients, it's physically impossible for your body to produce what your DNA is telling it to produce. What that means is that if you live and eat in America and most places on Earth, you're mineral deficient. Now, why didn't our parents and grandparents warn us about this? Well, the truth is, your granddaddy's soil is long gone, and the modern medical approach is that it's easier to prescribe a drug to treat a symptom than it is to teach a person how to heal themselves. I don't accept that, and I'm willing to bet you don't either. So you're probably just as shocked as I was to learn that mineral deficiencies can cause diabetes, arthritis, infertility, age spots, fibromyalgia, birth defects, back pain, kidney stones, even certain types of cancer, and the list goes on and on. There are literally hundreds of these mineral deficiency diseases, most of which we find out about after it's too late, and all of which have been linked to one or more minerals and vitamins that need to be ingested on a daily basis. Here's the bottom line, and this is what the person who sent you here knew you were smart enough to understand. In this day and age, most Americans will suffer from the pain and costs of nutrient deficiency diseases, but you have a choice. You can correct your body chemistry. You can fix your mineral deficiencies with 90 for Life, a daily health regimen with certified organic whole foods, probiotics, and essential vitamins and minerals. It's the one solution that has all 90 of the nutrients you need to prevent and correct nutrient deficiencies. Now, let me tell you about the doctor who developed 90 for Life. Dr. Joel Wallach is the founder of Longevity. He's a Nobel Prize nominated biomedical research scientist, a naturopathic doctor, an accomplished author, a pioneer in the study of epigenetics, and an expert in nutritional deficiencies. Dr. Wallach got his start in the field of animal studies. In fact, he led the National Institute of Health project that resulted in him co-authoring a book that's become the definitive scientific work on over 900 animal diseases, a work that's been classified by the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. Dr. Wallach founded Longevity to wean the American public away from the medical industry protocol of treating the symptom but living with the disease, and onto a more effective protocol of teaching people how to use proper nutrition to correct their body chemistry. Longevity is now a $100 million a year company, publicly traded, with no debt and a perfect track record with the SEC and consumers, because their products work. 90 for Life is only one of 1,000 offerings from Longevity, and all of them are scientifically formulated and 100% guaranteed. You'll have no trouble finding things at Longevity to make you feel better, look better, and live better. But the first step is for you to correct your nutrient deficiencies, which is why you start with 90 for Life. It tastes good, makes you feel great, and keeps you healthy. So thank the person who sent you here and ask them to help you get started. Then go back to enjoying your life knowing that a daily dose of prevention does a lifetime of good. Now, if you know of anyone else who's smart like you and wants to take control of their health, then stay with me for a couple of minutes. Because Longevity does not have a traditional retail sales model where half the price of each product goes to the wholesaler, the retailer, and the advertisers. Instead, Longevity uses a direct sales model, which means they don't spend a dime on fancy advertising budgets or fighting for retail shelf space. Instead, all that money, and it's a lot of money, gets paid out to people just like you and me. So if you want your cut for telling people what you're already going to tell them about 90 for Life, here's how it works. You want to fix your mineral deficiencies, so you need to get your hands on some 90 for Life, and we'll show you how in just a second. But since you've already thought of at least one person who's smart like you and wants to take control of their health, you call up that friend. Now, let's say his name's Mike. You ask Mike to watch this short video that grabbed your attention. Then, just like you, Mike wants to get 90 for Life. And just like you, Mike thinks of a couple people who want to prevent deficiency diseases. So Mike calls up a couple of his buddies and says the same thing you said. He asks them if they just check out this short video. And just like Mike, they say yes. And then Mike's buddies each share it with a few people who share it with a few more. Now, your buddy Mike is going to get paid when Chris and Jennifer get 90 for life because he shared the video with them, and that's only fair, right? But here's the cool thing. You get paid too, not just on Mike's purchases, but on Chris and Jennifer, and there's potential for you to earn even more on everyone within your growing organization. That's the power of this opportunity. There's no fee involved, so you can become a longevity distributor, we call them marketing directors, by buying a CEO pack for $4.99, which gives you over $700 of products, including 90 for life, of course, and a ton of other healthy products you'll love. And when Mike buys his CEO pack, you'll make $130. In fact, you'll make at least $130 for every person you share this message with who then buys a CEO pack, and you'll earn even more money as they share the message. In fact, there's potential to earn a residual bonus off the people in your organization for the rest of your life, just for telling them what you're going to tell them anyway. Now, a lot of people who don't understand this business model will tell you it's too good to be true. I get it. I have a business background and I felt the same way at first. But then I found this revenue model to be based on rewarding direct actions of those that distribute the products rather than gambling on advertising methods that may or may not reach the right audience. That's smart business. In fact, this business model has been called one of the oldest, most respected business models in the world by Donald Trump. It's been celebrated for the success and prosperity it affords people like you and me by former presidents, savvy investors, and business experts alike. I wouldn't waste my time, and I know you wouldn't either, if we didn't have such an important message of health to share, and if it wasn't a viable business model. But the reality is, 90 for life is the real deal, and it's so easy to share. So, with the confidence of knowing you've just landed on the best kept secret of the business world, you just reach out to anyone you know who needs to hear this message and ask them, hey, if I send you a short video to watch that's really grabbed my attention, would you watch it? Now, normally people will say, sure, what is it? So be honest with them. Tell them it's something good for your body and good for your bank account, and I don't want to get down the road with it and have you come back to me and say, why didn't you tell me about this earlier? And then you just send them this video. Let it tell the story for you and watch what happens. Now, some people will just become your customers, and that's great because you're helping them change their lives, and you'll earn 8% from everything they buy. But others will decide to follow in your footsteps and buy CEO packs like you did, and you'll make at least $130 from each of their initial orders, plus a residual income from all their future orders for life. And because you're helping people change their lives and you're getting paid for it, they're going to do what you did, and you're going to earn more and more as your organization grows. In fact, it's not uncommon to see 5-figure, 6-figure, even 7-figure incomes in this business. That's the viral nature of longevity, and that's what attracts people like you and me who've started to rethink that traditional life plan of working 40 plus hours a week for 40 plus years, only to reach retirement age and wish you'd saved enough money and kept yourself healthy enough to enjoy the next 40 years. Now, remember that initial CEO pack purchase? Well, you'll never need to buy that again, but you will run out of your 90 for life and your other new favorite products. And in order to remain eligible for commissions, you'll want to keep using products, whichever products you want. So you're looking at an average monthly budget of about $130. However, most of those products are not an additional expense if you substitute longevity brands for things you normally buy anyway. From thousands of products and dozens of brands, choose organic foods, cosmetics, essential oils, jewelry, clothing, supplements, and more. This concept of buying from yourself is smart business, and it makes shopping a lot more fun. Now, I want to leave you with one final thought. Over the next 2 years, Longevity is expecting to add over 1 million new marketing directors, all of whom will buy products, most of whom will refer others, and many of whom will already know you. They have to join under somebody. Wouldn't it be great if they joined under you? And if you got paid for life on the products they're going to buy anyway, why shouldn't it be you who helps them improve their health and save for retirement? Why shouldn't you be rewarded? Well, I think you should, and you only need to do 3 things. 1, become a 90 for life user for your physical health. 2, become a marketing director for your financial health. And 3, get paid for life, just for telling people what you're going to tell them anyway. It's as easy as sharing this video and giving someone else the same feeling of empowerment you've got now that you're about to embark upon this journey with us for better health and better wealth.
Okay, so do you see why I did that? why I played that 10-minute video for you, because I got to tell you, I think it's absolutely one of the best videos I've seen. For those of you that are on the conference call, you can, again, send me your email. I'll be glad to send you the link on that. But it really gives some good information in a very short period of time. As you know, people kind of process now in nanoseconds. They get bored quick. Sound bites is what you have to give them on everything. And, you know, so normally 5-7 minutes. This is 10 minutes long, like 9 minutes and 58 seconds. And in that, she gives the product and the business. So I think it's really something you might want to, you know, take a look at. I've also put up on the screen the official calls. Now, you guys know there are shortcuts to the Business Center, ygbusinesscenter.com. There's also one to the Resource Center, ygresourcecenter.com. That Resource Center is invaluable. If you want to know where the calls are, you literally go to ygresourcecenter.com and you click on calls. I'm looking at it right now. Those of you that are on the computer can see it, and it lists Monday what the calls are, Tuesday what the calls are, Wednesday what the calls are, what, you know, if there's webinars, and click there to join those webinars. That's all I really wanted to say about that. But I recently had a gentleman come in from Florida that is part of our group. And it was very interesting listening to him. It was just a terrific guy. We're so thrilled that he's part of our team. But one of the things he said to me, and it just has been ringing in my ear all week long, is, yeah, he goes, you know, we get on a 3-week call, we do all these things, and then, you know, we enroll them. Well, how do you do that? And I thought to myself, because this person, their upline stuff was going to take them, you know, through the website. They didn't have a chance to take them through the website. We took them on a 3-way call through some stuff. And really, it was a matter of just saying name, address, phone number, you know, credit card, email, social. And we know we have 2 choices here. We have a CEO pack and we have a $25. But for some reason, he was disconnecting on that. And so what you have to think about is this. We know our business well, most of you on this phone. And we know that those are the things. I mean, I don't even have to look at an associate form. In fact, I don't think I've looked at one in 5 years. But anyway, you know, I had a little cheat sheet there for a while. And if anybody needs that, I'd be glad to send them that. But I mean, I put people's information literally on a small scrap of paper. I've put it on napkins and everything just to then come back and enroll them. I personally believe in putting them in the system myself the first time, because we do have 1,000 products and it can get somewhat confusing. And so to be able to do it for them or do it with them, one of the two, and then teach them either that time or the following time what they do in order to get their ID number, their, you know, their password and all those kinds of things. So sending them a welcome letter is a really nice thing, to welcome them and give them a few websites to look at, like the Resource Center. But I got to tell you, we have everything a person would want as far as teaching them. So my favorite, it used to be our Next, but I got to tell you, I really researched this stuff this morning, looked at all the valuable information. And I got to tell you, for a new person starting, that 5x5 marketing book, along with the CEO book, well, all 4 of them. And we basically have 4 major books. But I got to tell you, the 5x5 marketing plan, and I pulled it up here on the computer. What I like about it is it tells you step by step. Okay, you've ordered your CEO pack. You've ordered your auto ship, right? You've placed an order if you choose for marketing materials, and you have reviewed the new team member orientation. The number 1 step in addition to that, once you get signed up, is what is your why? So I want you to think about that just for a minute, because remember, guys, you want to train people within 24 hours. That is absolutely crucial. Always when I did my events, and for 9 years I did events in Denver, we would always do the meeting and then we'd always have a training afterwards, because we wanted people to get started right then and there. Because when they can get started right then and there, you're going to see the momentum of what happens in your group. So think about that. You want to identify your why. It might make you cry, and hopefully it's also going to make you smile. It's a good idea to have why. And why is that? Because if you're going to truly work toward your goal, toward your dream, Are you going to be 100% committed if you don't have a really strong vision? So ask yourself what it is that you want to do. And don't believe your mind's first answers. Just write it down the list, whatever comes to your mind, and then continue asking yourself. Inquire about your values, about what you honor most in your life. Make a list of what's really important to you and ask yourself, what's my vision? What's my map? Where am I and where am I going? Does this vision, does it truly reflect my values and intentions? Am I remembering to embody those values? Do I practice my intentions? How am I right now with my job, my family, with my relationships, with myself? How do I want to be? How might I like my vision and my values to look? How do I relate to suffering, both in my own and others? Well, you know what? When you think about what your dreams are, a lot of people, it has been so long since they have dreamed that they don't know how to do it anymore. And you know what? Maybe it's an RV so that you could travel all over. Maybe it's having a car that works and having one that you're proud of and that you're excited about getting into. How about, of course, getting debt free, but it usually has to be deeper than that. Because I got to tell you, I have met more people in the last week through some calls with distributors that really don't have an extra $20 a month. And I'm thinking, what motivates them? And when you ask them, it's really hard to get into their head because they have been so far removed from ever even thinking they can even have extra money for gas and not to have to worry about that sometimes you have to literally work with them. Well, you know, do you rent now then? Oh, so have you ever thought about having a house? Well, yeah. I'd love to have a house, but that seems a little far-fetched. You know what? It's not far-fetched because you just found the best business opportunity that exists on this planet. And we can help you get to those dreams if indeed a house is something you might want, or a car. And how does that house look? And if it's an RV or a car, do you have a picture of it? Have you pulled a picture of it? You know, have them take a picture of it. One of our reps the other day, Scotia, sent me her initials are SLM, and this guy was going through the lot in a convertible Mercedes. She would look absolutely adorable in that. She took a picture, she sent me. You know, it's really feeling that through. Maybe it's that for your 40th birthday, your 50th, your 60th, your 20th, whatever, you'd love to take your whole family to Europe or to Disney World or to wherever, on a yacht or to an island or wherever, and you would like to treat them. Maybe you have big ideas about philanthropic things and how you would like to do all those acts of random kindness. Whatever it is, find out what that why is. And in that 5x5 marketing book that most of you are looking at right now, it asks you, take a few minutes and put down, you know, what would be your reason why? And what's your income goal in 30 days and 90 days and 1 year? And then the next sheet on here is create your prospect list. This is a biggie. Okay, this is everybody you know. So when I said to that one guy, he says to me, well, I don't really have a list. Well, how many people are in your cell phone? 191. Well, there's 191 people in your cell phone. How could you not have people to talk to? And, you know, there is a memory jogger in the resource center. Look at that. And it reminds you, well, yeah, that guy that sold me that house 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that guy that sold us the car had such a great personality. That girl behind the UPS counter that owned that UPS franchise, or, you know, whatever it is, the gal at the chiropractor's office, the owner of, you know, the woman that runs the chamber, whatever it is, it'll remind you. And that's what you want to put down, every person you know. But, you know, they say that they want you to check off people with whom you know share a mutual respect with you. People who are possibly looking for greater health or income in particular, and people that you think might be willing to get started now, that can get started now. Those are three things I always kind of say, baby, asterisk those that are just like, and you point out somebody that they know. You know, just like a Pat McGill, okay, just like a Marianne Suarez, or a Chris and Heather Downs, just like those people that are driven. You know, I was talking to a new rep last night, and he was talking to me, and we were talking about some of the three-way calls, and I was telling him, you know, really who you want to spend your energy on and who you don't. And he goes, you know, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, but he goes, and I know a lot of people who say that they want to do things, but he said there's a big difference between people who say it and those that are driven. And that's true. So I actually talked to our team, as you know, about asterisking those people that are Chris, that are, you know, all of you on this phone that are driven, because you're there every week. You listen to, you want to get to the next rank. You never, ever give up. And in that 5x5 is literally a page for them to actually put the names, okay, and to check mark those people. Because what we're going to do, like I said to the gentleman last night that I was training, I said, you know, make that whole list, and then tomorrow, meaning today, we will look at your asterisks, because I'm looking for 4 people that want to take this to the moon with you. And if the first one we call isn't interested, it's no big deal, because we're going to just keep calling those asterisks till we find those first 4 people, because we want you to be executive marketing director by the end of this week. And hopefully by the, really, we can do this in the next next 2 days. Okay, within 48 hours, we should be able to get you to either RMD or EMD, and hopefully EMD. And if you really want to focus on it, we can do that, and we can get you to SMD by the end of the month. This 5x5 marketing brochure talks about then how to share your story. We have several trainings. Last week's training was on how to share your story in 30 seconds, in 60 seconds. Okay, how to have, it's kind of like your trailer to the movie. Okay, and so then you have the short story, then you have the longer version, and asking them to join. You know, it's really interesting to me, because I have in the past made mistakes where I have been on a 3-way call. That person is absolutely, totally ready to sign. They're saying they've already told us what they're getting. They've already told us they want it right away. And then often I have said, I'm going to get off now, and why don't you take the information down? And between that time and the time that that other person gets off the phone with them, they don't enroll them. Okay, that has happened several times. So I'm kind of reshifting that with a person that is brand new, because people don't always know what to say next. And really what to say next is just asking, you know, ask them to join us. And if we've already gotten to that point, which in most cases I am on a 3-way call, all you're literally doing is it Betty, B-E-T-T-Y, or B-E-T-T-I-E? Okay, Betty, are you going to put this on MasterCard or Visa, Discover or American Express? Which one's more convenient for you? Okay, it's asking those questions of what the enrollment page is going to say, right, when you key it in. All right, and then it talks about, in the 5x5 brochure, ways to share this. My gosh, one-on-one presentations, two-on-one presentations, lunch events, in-home events, DVD or video presentations, website presentations, live opportunity calls, record opportunity calls. 3-way calls is one of your keys, okay? And then it ends up by saying, the last 2 pages I love, because it says, duplicate to succeed. 5 contacts a day, 5 days a week. That's what 5x5 marketing means. 5 contacts a week, or excuse me, a day, 5 days a week. And the very last page shows a circle with the SMD and how you have to have 3 RMD legs, and you have to have 5,400, and what you need to personally qualify for those different ranks. Okay, because this is the deal. We want to get every single person. Now, if they're a product user, that is fantastic, and we are thrilled to have them on board. All right, and sometimes people need to try the products before they share it with others, and others, you know, are intuitive enough and astute enough to know, you know what? I want a business. I've been praying for an opportunity. I've been, you know, setting my intention for an opportunity. I've been thinking about something different. I know I need to get out of corporate America. I know I don't have the safety net that I always had in corporate America. I know that the cake baking business that I'm in right now is not making me enough money. I need to expand my horizons, okay? So because you expand your horizons, you might as well, if you're going to do something, you might as well put the, you know, pedal to the metal, because if you're going to do it, why not do it all the way? Why not get to SEMD this month? Plus, we've got a contest this month. As you know, anyone who ranks new to SEMD, I'm going to give them a Healthy Start Pack. Anybody who does a presentation at home and has guests at that home, Dr. Gold is going to send them some products. But guys, I want to put a little qualifier on that. Last time Dr. Gold did that, he was generous enough to give us, and several of the people took the product and really did not do the home meetings like they like is intended. The whole idea of getting, of giving you just extra incentives. I mean, and think about this. You get 3 people in with a Healthy Start Pack, you get a free Healthy Start Pack. You get to SCMD this month, you get a free Healthy Start Pack. You do in-home meetings, you get what? You get more product. And, I mean, you can always use product, right? I mean, then you can do it per 100 pounds. Then you can, make sure everybody in your family is taking it as well. And then you get the residual. You get the quick start bonus. You get the fast start bonus. You get the coding bonus, because I know you've signed up as a CEO, because that's absolutely the best way to go. So this brochure tells you all about that. Now, the CEO Mega Pack brochure just talks about that it is the fastest route to getting to where you want to go. And it shows you that you get a car bonus, you get stock options, you get all that kind of stuff. So that's a good brochure. The Revolution brochure talks about Doc Wallach and how he's a national treasure and a man on a mission. It talks about, the 90 for life in detail. And it talks about getting healthy with the 90 for life. And then toward the bottom here, it talks about the success story. It shows several of the different division lines that we carry. That is also a good brochure. But I got to tell you, the 5x5 marketing book and the Are You Next? Now, that Are You Next talks about the comp plan. It gives you the comp plan in detail. And so I'm sitting here looking at the, all the different residual plan where you get to SCMD and what you have to get there. Okay, which is 250 in your personal and 5,400 in group volume. That 5,400, there's lots of ways to do it. You can put 10 CEO packs on. You can put 3 on, and they can put 3 on, and then you get there. Okay, because people will do what you do. Okay, now maybe you say, well, I'm not that interested in moving that fast. I had someone the other day say, well, she didn't have any money, enough money to buy it, but she wasn't interested in money. Well, you're limiting yourself because you can't buy the product for your own body. Yet at the same time, you know that you need it, but yet so I had to deduct from that there was a failure that person had. She didn't want to fail, and she had a lot of sabotage things going on in her life. And you know what? We all have sabotaging things, don't we? Every one of us. It's about being the best person we can be and helping our team be the best they can be. Because if we're the best we can be, we know people are going to follow in our footsteps, right? So if they follow with what we do, and we literally talk to people every day about this opportunity and about this product, and most of us on this call are very, very service oriented and very much into the product. There is nothing wrong with making money at the same time. And I've told this story many times. It enables me, by making this 6-figure income that I make, it literally enables me to be able to pay for all my mom's bills, everything that happens with her. If anything, if her water heater goes out, I pay for it. I pay for all her products. I pay for her health insurance. Anything that's going on with her, I am privileged and honored to be able to do that for my mother. Okay, and again around, so I can tell you it's my sister and my nephews and yeah. Anyway, there's lots of people that we all support, and the only reason I say that about Iggy is he's always saying, oh, you give the shirt off your back to anybody. And you know what? It is about giving, but it also is about being able to accept those wonderful things that come in. I mean, we have the most amazing compensation plan. So that brochure, Are You Next, gives you that, gives that new person that. So really, it boils down to what? It boils down to that 5x5 marketing plan and that Are You Next guy, because the Are You Next, of course, is the compensation. But that 5x5 tells you everything you'd want to know. Make your why, find out what your why is. And you may have to work with them a while to find that out. And then shows you how to invite and things to say and how to share the story and how many different ways you can do it. And it talks about making your list, and that is crucial. making the list is crucial. Because to me, making the list and being able to share that list with three-way calls is where you're going to make the money and where you're going to rank up the highest. Because, and you know what, it's okay if you use the person for the three-way calls. Obviously that's going to make money on you because that's a lot of time invested to do three-way calls. But if, for instance, you call me and you tell me about something and I think somebody else is going to be better at that person because they have that similarity in common, I'm going to say, you know what, let's call Dr. Gold instead. You know what, let's call Richard Renton instead. I just found out something really interesting the other day, which I might as well share. I wasn't going to, but I might as well share this now. One of our people are looking at, actually two of them are looking at gyms, and they're looking at how they can, utilize the fitness area in the gyms to, to be one of their major legs. And so I talked to Richard Renton, and Richard Renton told me that what they do, and it's very interesting, one of the gyms that he has, the guy literally puts in first he put in himself, which makes perfect sense. Then he put in the gym. And then after the gym, he put in all his trainers, and he pays for their product if they're not willing to, if they're like concerned about having, $100 or $200 auto ship every month. He does that. He has the product shipped to him, and that's what he retails out. So he doesn't have a whole bunch of product, but he has enough there because what he has instilled in them is that when you go through the process of, okay, what are you here for? You here just to, build your muscles or to work in a marathon, or what are you for? The very last questions they ask them is about health and nutrition. And they tell them about why supplementation is so important with exercise, and they get all of these people on auto ship. So it was just a very, whoever is the king or queen of that area is what we do. We always utilize, you're always learning as a leader. The minute you stop learning, the minute you covet your people like, oh, they can only talk to me, they can only go to trade shows if I tell them they can go, all that's bull. Every bit of that is bull. I mean, you are an independent distributor. We're an independent army. The key is to stay in the lane, okay? In other words, what do we share? We share the Healthy Start Pack with the Z Radical. And certainly someone, maybe their hot button is going to be the clothes or the mineral makeup or whatever. I use those personally as more add-ons than I do anything else. But as long as you're sticking in the lane, okay, you still get to have your personality involved in it. And if you want to do a trade show, then by God, then pick people's brains, and I did them for years, and we have lots of trainings on trade shows. And by the way, farmers markets. And if this is now the season, farmers market's going to be everywhere here soon. Okay, have you checked out farmers markets? And all you got to do is Google farmers markets in, Houston, Texas, farmers markets in a certain part of Maryland, or farmers markets in Denver, Colorado, and then utilize, Marianne, if I were you, I would utilize all kinds of different words when you Google it, because you put farmers markets in it, you get one list. If you put in, any other words, trade shows, festivals, you will get complete different lists. And I love a lot of these lists because it'll say these vendors are there, and they'll give you their phone number, their addresses, the whole thing. It's awesome. So if you go participate in that, then listen to the trade show. There's at least 3 of them on zteamlive.com. Listen to those trainings, zteamlive.com, because they're archived back quite some ways. And with the trade show starts after the trade show because you've got all the names and numbers, and that's when you're really following up. But we have a simple system for people to follow. And if you take that 5x5 marketing guide and just go through that with them, and if you're out of state, and they're out of state, because most of my team is out of state, you just go over it with them on the computer, or go over it with them and then have them ask questions. There's lots of ways to do. Just because you're out of state doesn't mean, Marianne keeps me busy all the time with three-way calls from Maryland. And, we can do Skype. We can do Google Hangouts. We can do just on a conference call, on speaker. Whatever you need is what we will do to help you through this. Meaning to have the most flourishing business you can possibly imagine. Now, I would like to show you a clip that is literally one of my favorite clips. I was looking for it this morning. And you've probably seen it, but I just so love it. And it's only a couple minutes long. And those of you that are on the phone, you're going to have to use your imagination. But it's on a football field, and I'm sure most of you have seen it. But every time Ignatius walks in my office today, and he goes, "What's going on?" Because I'm sitting here, tears coming down. I said, "This thing just totally chokes me up every time I listen to it and watch it." And it's about this football player, and his coach is down on the ground with him, and he has him get on all fours, and he blindfolds him, and he puts another football player on top of him. So that football player is holding on, and he says, "All I want you to do basically is go to the 20-yard line with this other football player on all fours." But he has the blindfold on, and you will hear him encouraging him and encouraging him. And that's kind of what this business is. So I want to play this real quick, and then we'll talk again here for a second.
I get a good tight hold, Jeremy. All right, let's go, Brock. Keep your knees off the ground, just your hands and feet. There you go. A little bit left. A little bit left.
Hands and feet. He's not letting him crawl.
Good effort. That way, Brock. You keep coming. There you go. It's a good start. A little bit left. A little bit left. There you go, Brock. Good strength. That's it, Brock. That's it.
Not the 20 yet?
Forget the 20. You give me your best. You keep going. That's it. No, don't stop, Brock. You got more in you than that.
I ain't done. Just resting a second.
You got to keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's go. Don't quit till you got nothing left. There you go. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving, Brock. That's it. You keep driving. Keep your knees off the ground. Keep driving it. Your very best. Your very best. Your very best. Keep moving, Brock. That's it. That's it. That's it. Keep going. Don't quit on me. Keep going. Keep driving it. Keep your knees off the ground. That's it. Your very best. Don't quit on me. Your very best. Keep driving. Keep driving. There you go. There you go. That's it. You keep driving. Keep your knees off the ground. Keep driving it. Don't quit till you got nothing left. Keep moving, Brock. That's it. That's it. That's it. Keep going. I want everything you got. Come on, keep going. It hurts. Don't quit on me. Your very best. Keep driving. Keep driving. There you go. There you go.
He's heavy.
I know he's heavy.
I'm bad strength.
Then you negotiate with your body to find more strength, but don't you give up on me, Brock. You keep going. You hear me? You keep going. You're doing good. You keep going. Do not quit on me. You keep going. It hurts. I know it hurts. You keep going. You keep going. It's all hard from here. 30 more steps. You keep going, Brock. Come on. Keep going. And let it burn. It's all hard. You keep going, Brock. Come on. Come on. Keep going. You promised me your best. Your best. Don't stop. Keep going. It's not too hard. You keep going. Come on, Brock. Give me more. Give me more. Keep going. 20 more steps. 20 more. Keep going, Brock. Give me your best. Don't quit. No. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Brock Kelly, you don't quit. Keep going. Keep going. Don't, Brock Kelly. You don't quit on me. No, you keep going. You keep going. No, Brock. 10 more steps. 10 more. 10 more. 10 more. Keep going. Don't quit. Give me more. You can. You can. 5 more. 5 more. Come on, come on. Don't quit. Don't quit. Come on, Brock. Come on. Come on.
I'm telling you, 50. I'll hurry more.
Look good, Brock. You're in the end zone.
Wow. That, I tell you. Am I back on here, Becky?
Not yet.
Now am I back on?
Yep, there you go.
See, I always cry in that thing. It is about never quitting, about keeping going, even when it feels so tough and you're so overwhelmed. with life or with your team or with whatever it might be. It's about just keep going. And the more you go, guys, the more your team will go. Okay? This is not a business you have to do alone. I love, it was called the death crawl, but I just so love that. See, when he knew, he didn't think he could get to the 20-yard line. When he got to the end, all he wanted to know is, did I make it to the 20-yard line? He made it all the way across the entire field because he was blindfolded. What does that mean? It's an attitude thing. Everything is between our two ears. Everything. And if we can just wrap our heads around being the best and knowing our own magnificence, that every one of you are magnificent just the way you are, and that we have unbelievable, infinite potential, that it doesn't just have to be the Corey Golds and the Tom Chenaults that make over $1 million a year. I mean, what would that feel like to make $1 million a year? What would that feel like to make $100,000 a year? Make $200,000, $500,000, $1 million a year. Think about that. If you made $1 million a year, would you then stop? You look at Corey and you look at Tom, and they just every day they're doing videos. They're in it to win it. They're in it to be the best. They're in it to help people change their lives. Okay, so you can do this. It just takes the basic steps that we talked about. You know, the 5x5 market, teaching people, jumping in the foxhole with them within 24 hours and helping them understand why it's so important to get to SEMD, because see, SEMD is your first leadership real role. And if we can get you at that SEMD level, then you'll start making money, you'll understand how it goes, and you can help lots of other people get to SEMD. Hopefully that part makes sense. Becky, do we have any questions on that? And I'm going to unmute these lines and see if they have any questions.
We're good here.
Callers are muted. All callers are unmuted.
So guys, did you have any questions on anything, any comments, anything that we can help with today? Don't be shy.
Hey, Victoria,
Yes, Chris.
I just like to share that 2 days in a row now I've slept over 7 hours. So with the Transform Your Temple.
Awesome. That is so great. You know, that is so good to know. And when you feel those products and how they feel, when you look at the ingredients, you know it's going to be a real win-win for the body. When Jordan Rubin was on the last call, remember he said, you know, he's going to do like 3 sets or something. So I asked, I said, oh, so you could actually do more than that. So Iggy and I are doing 2 sets. We just, you know, and you do it on an empty stomach. So we're going to do 1 set in the morning and 1 set at night. And I'm just and we just started this morning. So we're very excited to see what this does for our bodies. And I truly believe, Chris, like you, and you're an organic farmer. So you get the importance of nutrition. And Chris, I'm hoping everybody can hear. Would you mind telling us your story again, because it is so profound?
Absolutely. My 3.5 years ago, doctor told me I needed a heart transplant. When I left the room, I told my wife I wouldn't make it to the heart transplant. So when we got home, I started shopping around for people for funerals and cremation. But I had congestive heart failure. I had 27% heart function left. The pacemaker brought me up to 36. Doctor and the person put the pacemaker in said, your heart never gets better. And I knew that my heart couldn't get better because every 7 years we're not the same person. Right? It could be made better. What I did,
We're starting to get a little bit of feedback, but I know what you're saying, that you were planning your funeral and you went to plan your funeral into living life fully, living it at what, 11,000 feet, Chris?
9,000.
9,000 feet, planning, doing physical labor, and now your heart is functioning at what level?
55%.
55%, and they told you originally it was 26. That is an incredible, incredible testimony. And I know the Z Radical and our Healthy Start Pack has also helped your wife tremendously. I'm anxious to see her because she's real sensitive as to how this Transform Your Temple does for her as well. That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Chris, any other comments or anything at all you'd like to share?
Yeah, just like in that video, continue to keep moving forward I like that thing, when you're down, call your up line. When you're up, call your down line.
Yep.
And just connect with people. We're created to love one another and share and make this a better world. And that's what you do every day. And that's what everyone that I've met in longevity is all about. Let's make this a better world, one person at a time, or a room full of people at a time. And it's an honor and a pleasure to be part of it. One team, one dream.
It is. You give me chills, Chris. I just so love listening to you. Anybody else got any comments or questions before we end this today?
Victoria, this is Eric Sander. How are you today?
Hi, Eric. We are so thrilled to have you on our team.
Yes. I'm working remotely way up here in the northern end of Wyoming, but I'm still pushing longevity every day.
Awesome.
I got a lead from my water store guy. He's got a guy who opened the store up here, and I got her number, and I'm going to go see her tomorrow. I'm excited.
Cool. So you went and talked to that person who gave you a lead. Is that great or what?
I said, yeah, I'm working out of town. I won't see you for a couple of weeks because I'm working out of a hotel. And he says, oh, I got a store with this gal up there. She's really great. I said, give me her name and number. I'd like to go see her.
That is awesome, Eric. I look so forward to seeing you walk across this stage.
Me too. My question is this. In getting people that are super busy, that are the ones you got to push your way into their meeting planner, getting them to commit to writing, the list of 100 people and doing it and gently. Is there any other way to prod them other than asking them, can you give me this time or can I meet with you? Or what have you found that works best with you?
Well, for someone busy, you could just say, if they're off the charts busy, you could just say, you know what, the way we build this business is 4 at a time. And so who do you know, Eric, that are the 4 people that you would love to travel the beaches of the world with? Who are the 4 perhaps entrepreneurs that are very driven, self-starting, people with their own initiative, they're leaders? Who are those 4 people that you would love to be in business with? And just off the top of your head, Eric, tell me, and I will tell you right now, because I've done this many times, they will give you those 4 names right that minute. Those 4 names. In fact, you may have even given me those 4 names. I'm not sure. But it happens every day, pretty much. We do calls. You can kind of tell where people are at. But if you home it down to the 4, and then let's teach those 4, let's get those 4 on the, in the meantime now, like when you're driving, I know you're driving all the time with your job, just, have a, either have your phone there and you're just going to talk into the phone, or have a recorder, or just, kind of jot down their name. The other thing I do, which sounds a little strange, but for me, if I'm looking for a new leg or someone I want to talk to that I know is going to give me the time and the timing is right for them, I will often, before I go to bed, I'll just say a quick prayer or an intention, whatever people want to call it. And I swear to you, when I go to bed, I say that prayer. When I get up, that person's name comes to my head. Very first thing when I get up, that person's name is right there on the tip of my tongue. Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to call such and such. Gee, I haven't talked to them in 10 years.
Okay.
So it's really because you're a busy guy yourself, and you're an entrepreneur, and you and your wife, it's always a pleasure to find someone like you and your wife, Eric, because there's very little training that has to even go. We're just showing you the lane. We're just showing the different things, the different tools and so forth that you can use. But we kind of always home it in on the people you're talking to. Some people if you can tell they just want to talk about the products, you stick with that. You always mention the business, but you have to kind of take it easier with some people than others. It's kind of an intuitive thing. I never get off the phone ever that I haven't talked both the 90 for Life and the opportunity that we have. But there are some people I push it with more and spend more time than talk about the business once I've talked about the 90 for Life. So it's kind of a, three-way calls teach you all that. And we've done a couple of them in the last few days, you and I. So that kind of teaches you, the different things to say. And it's really just an intuitive kind of thing. But most people will give you those 4 right off the top. And you say, okay, cool. Do you have time? Let's get them on the phone right now. Or, however we're going to structure it. Why don't you call them, start talking to them again, because maybe you haven't talked to them in a year or 6 months, or maybe they're your best friend. Maybe you're just going to call and say, man, oh my gosh, I just got involved in this. You have got to hear about it. Baby, you and I are going to travel the beaches of the world together. However your personality is, everybody's got to tweak it for their person. That's how I would do it, but it may not be the way you would do it. So does that answer your question at all?
It does.
Cool.
And my follow-up is, for people that are busy and traveling, what's the best CEO pack? I'm trying to do the Z-Radical CEO pack. And if people are constantly traveling, are we coming up with...
We are going to do the powder, and when the powder comes out, and I'm hoping that's going to be in a couple weeks, I'm going to talk to the Z team leaders and see how they feel about putting maybe even the powder and the stick packs in to replace the Rebound and the stick packs of the BTT. It's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see 3 different things of Z-Radical and the 2 Healthy Start packs, but we'll have probably at least one of them. And then we've already been kind of programming, already been kind of talking to corporate about, hey, well, when those samples come in, because we've been looking for a while, when they come in, will we be able to put them in the Z-Radical pack? Also, some of those other packs that do have the lot of the single BTT packs in them, the 1070, the 1072, those are good possibilities as well. But of course, I always like them to get the Z-Radical in, because I know that they're going to have great results if they have both the Healthy Start pack and the Z-Radical. So it's kind of a, sometimes I'll give people a choice, but I end up doing, there's basically 5 packs that I look at, but the Z-Radical pack is the one that I probably share. For me personally, I'm going to guess 90+% of the time.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully, again, we will have those. Now, the stick packs are probably going to take, it could take another 6 months or so to get the stick packs in. But the canister, so I'd kind of like to get the canister in place of at least one of the 30 packs, like the Rebound perhaps, get it in place of that, and then people will have the travel deal with that. So, and also, people take the Z, that even if they travel, they can put it, like at a hotel, they can just put it in an ice bucket, and in a cooler. But it's going to be so much easier when it does come in the powder for a travel basis, for sure.
Even on an airplane, you have to keep in your...
You do. You're right. You got to check in your bags if you got liquid. So it is nice that we now have the powder osteo, of course, the BTT comes in powder. And then when the Z-Radical does, that'll be great as well. So I'm hoping by the 15th, which is just right around the corner, that we'll be hearing about that, if not next week. But we will be announcing that probably on the leaders call on Thursday, because I'm on the hunt right now. It's on my list today to find out what is the status on all this stuff. So good deal. Eric, anything else? Since you're new with us, it's perfect, since I kind of went into that starting thing in more detail today. It's perfect that you're on there with us. Is there anything that kind of holds you back or you're not quite sure of?
I'm getting some feedback on your end, but is there anything that what?
That you're not quite sure of with starting, since you're just now starting? Is there anything else you would like to know about where you find calls or events, or where you go for something? Anything that you're not quite certain on how to start people?
No, I'm pretty resourceful, and usually people that need the most help, I've been able to Google and find, videos that Doc's done or audio he's done, and start writing stuff down and like the process to try and get to them and help them. I'm working on someone that's right now.
Good. Someone that you said has MS, is that what you said?
Multiple sclerosis.
Yeah, we've got a gal that is always eager to talk to anybody that has made such remarkable results. If you want, I'll email you her phone number. She's given me permission to do that. And she's done so good with it. She lives in North Carolina that literally there's 2 universities studying her right now.
I remember you saying that on a phone.
Yeah, so we'd be glad to send you her number. She has just been very generous with her time and seems to love giving her story.
Okay. I'll definitely take that.
And I've also got the MS protocol written down. As we know, what happens, most of our team, they just email in and say, hey, what's a protocol for this or that, blah, 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 and we get it for them. So very good, Eric. Anybody else got any comments, questions, anything you need help with?
Hi, I just came in and on my notes I had this Monday morning noon call. Obviously it's not at noon because you've been on it for a while. I just signed in, but I'm over on Pacific Standard Time. What time does this call actually start?
Pacific Standard is 11 o'clock.
11 a.m. every Monday, correct?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Well, with that, I'm going to call.
I have a question since you're talking about MS. There's been a girl that I went to school with that I know has MS, and I've been wanting to contact her, but I'm new on this whole business, and I don't know what to do, how to come at her. My approach of attack. I don't know what I should do to contact her. To try
Okay. Do you know her well or not very well?
Maybe our moms are good friends. We were never real tight ourselves. She's a Facebook friend. I just don't know how to approach her.
So are you saying that you would, on the phone is a little bit better than Facebook, but you may want to private message her on Facebook, and you could just say, hey, Cheryl, this is whomever, and hey, Cheryl, this is Brenda. And I just found out some very interesting information on MS that I would love to share with you.
Okay.
My number is this. What is your number again? And then get her number and then call her and say, oh my gosh, you were the first person I thought of. I just found a gentleman that specializes in, a doctor that specializes in MS, and he has had really good response. And you were the first, when I heard it, I thought about you because my gosh, I know how close our moms are. And I know you and I have not necessarily ever been really tight, but I think a lot of you, and I'd love to help you in any way I can. It's all natural. This man is a doctor, and he speaks all over the world. He's written 14 books, and he just has a real talent with this. In fact, so much as far as this protocol working that, and by the way, I can be glad to email you that protocol. So just email me if you need that protocol. But then you could say something like, there is a gal one gal that we have heard of out of North Carolina. She has done so well on these products, on this nutrition, that literally there's 2 universities studying her right now. And of course, we always emphasize with anything and everything. Since you're new to this business, you need to know this. We never ever say we cure, we heal, we diagnose anything. None of our products heal, cure, diagnose, nothing. What it is the body knows what to do, and you give the body the right nutrition, and the body will line right up due to that nutrition. Okay? So don't ever get overzealous and say, oh my God, this cured her and it'll cure you. Yeah, that isn't the way it goes. Okay. The body is an incredible machine that it's kind of like your car. You got to put gas in your car. You got to change your oil and things like that. And what happens is we live in a very toxic life. I mean, let's face it. In the 1930s, the government said that the soil was mainly depleted. So, in other words, we don't get the minerals in the soil. So, as Doc says, it is a physical impossibility to get what we need from our food. So, we must supplement. Doc just happens, I mean, he literally is a nutrition guru. I mean, this man is, not only a researcher and a pathologist, a doctor. I mean, his list goes on, an author, but he has discovered many, many diseases and what causes them. And in most cases, it's minerals. So if you'd like, I can get you on the phone with her, but let me tell you what the protocol is. And I would love to see if we can help you.
Okay. So what is your email and name?
Victoria. And who is this?
I'm Karen Gabrielson from Modesto.
Okay. Whose team are you on?
I'm under, Shirley Schultz.
And she's under who?
Joanne, I believe, or Kim Borba.
Okay. And they're under who?
I think, I don't know exactly everybody who they fall under, but Todd and Blake are in our up on.
Okay, good. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, TNT. Now, and by the way, we are absolutely one team, one dream. I'll help you just like I help anybody else in this company. It's absolutely no issue. I always just kind of like to know who the upline is. And I'll tell you what, you talk about health experts. Girlfriend, you got the best health people there. Blake Graham is one of the leading experts in this company on health and nutrition. In fact, guys, I was going to mention this today, and then we were kind of running out of time, but they created on Y Team Tools, they created this self-evaluation form. Can you see this at all, Becky?
Yeah, actually I have.
And it's a 4-color, 4-page self-evaluation form, which is really a nice, it breaks it down to, you put in there, do you have, knee, shoulder pain? Do you have cravings for sugar?
Yes, I'm familiar with this one.
Right. And I'm actually just kind of training the rest of the team. And so there's all these, and at the very back, it shows disease results and so forth. And guys, that's a great form to utilize. Of course, we do the product and we do the business as well. So my email is Victoria@Baran, BARAN, biz.com. Victoria@BaranBiz.com. So anybody else got any questions, comments, anything you need help with?
Victoria, this is Pat real quick.
Hi, baby girl.
How do you find that video by the young lady that's the 10-minute?
You know what? It's one of those that isn't an easy one. It's on YouTube. If you'll send me, I'll tell you what, right after this, as soon as I finish up the Google Hangout, I'm going to send you a link to it.
Okay. Thank you.
Because it's one of those that I'd have to repeat it 18 times, so I'll just send it to you.
It sounds like a winner.
That's an awesome video. Love it.
It is a really good video.
Awesome.
And I love that she's done it so generic.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't stand there, get back with the person who shared, but that's the only thing she didn't do. I mean, she did a great job. I'm very grateful for her doing that. So anybody else got anything else you'd like to ask? Or anything?
Email again, Victoria at what?
Baran, BARAN, and then BIZ.com. There's 2 A's in there.
Okay. BaranBiz.com.
Yep. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure as always, and we will hear you next Monday at 11 o'clock Pacific, 12 Mountain, 1 Central, 2 Eastern, and you have a choice of going on Google Hangout, or you have a choice of being on this phone call, whichever one works for you. All right, guys, have a great one. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon. And by the way, if you were in Colorado, don't forget about that May 30th event. Ciao. Let's see, got to click that on now.